All right, team, happy, beautiful, be inspired recovery reset. It's a 15-minute meditation stretch. It's a way for us to not just meditate, but also move so that we can keep our minds present as much as possible. So today it'll be a neck shoulder release class. If you've got a release tool, using our tequila bottles or the water bottle, they're a nice thing to kind of push. You can take your shoes off. They're a little pressure release, if you would. So we're gonna either lay in what's called fetal pose on your right shoulder. So you'll just stay here for a moment, or if you've got a recovery tool, I want you to put it underneath of your right tricep. So you're kind of laying against it, but be mindful, you don't want pressure on the joint, you just want it on the muscle. So I'm kind of holding my right hand behind my head. If you've got like a foam roller, you could use that. If you've got a lacrosse ball, or just a hard water bottle is fine. And we'll be here for a whole 30 seconds before we add any movement. So if it's accessible for you to go a little bit deeper in the sensation, for me, I feel it more if I roll a little bit back or a little bit forward. So just navigate the space where you get, you're like, oh, that's it, that's the tender spot, and then stay there. Taking a few breaths so that your body starts to slow down and dissolve. So even if you're doing this class midday like we are, or in the morning to start, or at night before bed, no matter what, it's calming and cooling effects. It'll bring clarity. And whether you're looking forward to going to sleep, or whether you're looking forward to being more focused in your day, the moments you take here, the few short minutes we have, will propel that forward in everything you do in your work, in your family. Just stay focused on what you feel. I feel my right tricep, the back of my arm against the bottle or the ground. For the final 30 seconds here, if you've got that release tool, I want you to roll up and down the tricep. So actively, my left hand's kind of supporting me against the ground. My right tricep's rolling. If you don't have a release tool today, no problem. You're gonna take your left hand and massage out your shoulder and your neck with your own left hand. So the whole point of myofascial release is to give your body enough time to settle, cool and calm. What that means is, there's the Golgi tendon, this reactor that wants to defend in the first couple seconds. We need a few active breaths for the body to stop defending and just to let in. And as the fascia relaxes and lets the stretch in, a lot of stress comes out of the muscle, fascia, ligaments, tendons, and joints. Okay, take your release tool off to the side. You're gonna literally roll onto your back into banana asana. So the same kind of idea, your right arm goes up and over in a half moon shape to your left. Whoopsies. Take your right hand over to the left, really pull it with your left hand. Now as you get what we call like a half moon, a crescent shape in your body, walk your feet more to the left without moving your hips. So you're trying to create a banana shape in your body. Then bend your right hand behind your head, take your left hand to your elbow and pull. And check my demos, yep, you guys look good. So in this space, let's see, Kim looks good, exactly. You're basically doing this on your side. You're pulling more space on the right side lat, releasing tension around your shoulder. Awesome. If you feel like you can advance the stretch, as much as you're banana stretching, keep dropping your right hip down as much as possible so you get a nice intercostal stretch on the right side. Only you know if you can go more, less, wiggle a little. But remember, we're not trying to force anything. To the best of your ability, you're just trying to relax, to let the stretch come in instead of you forcing the stretch on in. Now as your body collides against the ground in this banana asana, keep letting everything melt. Almost as if your body could melt into the ground underneath of your mat, underneath of your floor. softening. Good, come back through center, bring your knees in really delicately, take your time. Rock your knees side to side on your back. We'll do our first set of either legs up the wall with your legs straight to the sky, or if you can take plow to stretch your neck a little bit, keep your chin directly between your chest and your pec muscles. Let your chin compress into your chest. So for me, I've been lifting weights all morning, so my neck is pretty tight here. Take your time. Good, that looks good, Kim. You want a constriction of the breath, yes, but you never want to feel like there's striking pain. It should be kind of like a dull ache. You've got 5 deep breaths. Your hands can be at the small of your back like Kim to help support your hips up. If you're not a neck or a plow person per se, you can always grab your feet and do a hamstring stretch. The advancement like OMED is no hands, either onto the ground interlaced. Breathe in, breathe out. Awesome. Roll your body up slowly. If it feels good, you can take a few rocks and we'll meet at a C. So I'm going to demo sideways so it's a little easier to see. Take your right hand behind your back for a half bind. Take your left hand and kind of move it. Imagine, I have nice long fingers, so my fingers can almost touch my belly button. Keep imagining that your right hand on that left hip could reach around. Then, left hand to your right ear. Pull your right ear away from your right shoulder, very gently. Awesome, so this interaction, it feels like you're opening up the SCM, the levator scapula, the muscles around the neck in the front and back. And then open and close your mouth really slowly. Maybe even tilt your forehead front and back. Just gently caressing any stress or tension off of the right shoulder. Imagine your right shoulder dropping down as your right ear pulls away slightly forward or slightly back. Moving my jaw really helps to stretch the very intricate parts. Good, breathe in. Big breath out. Awesome. Roll into tabletop position and we'll thread the needle with that same arm. We're still on the same side. Lift your right arm to the sky, breath in. Thread the needle, drop your right cheek to the mat. It might feel just good enough to stay here. It does in my body. I kind of wiggle my hips a little left and right. Where do I get the most shoulder stretch? Or take your left hand behind your back in a half bind. Keep looking over the left shoulder. If the intention is to create space from your ear to your shoulder, keep mentally managing that space. There's moments when the mind's gonna float away. That's pretty natural. Just gently come back to, I feel my cheek against the ground. I feel my head against the mat. That in and of itself brings you into the present moment more than most things in our day, Kay. Breathe in. Big revolution, breathe out. Awesome. Come up to your palms in tabletop. You can kind of wag your tail a little bit if that feels good to reset your hips. Then we'll drop into our release tool, fetal pose on the left bicep, or using your water bottle or foam roller, put it underneath of your left tricep. Oh yeah. At first, find a place that's comfortable to lay. Let it feel just easy. Never losing sight of that little bit of tension and pressure under the release tool. If you don't have the release tool today, just lay and enjoy the fetal pose with your right hand against the ground. In today's final meditation, we're going to take a little geographical meditation, where we're going to go a little bit deeper into the earth. So with your hand against the ground, bracing yourself, stay here in fetal pose, holding stability, or if you've got the release tool, roll a few times, forward and back. Get the tension out of your bicep, tricep, back of the shoulder. Feeling rooted what's underneath of you. Literally, not just your mat or the floor that you're on, but what's underneath of you at Earth's core. As you dig a little bit deeper into the sediment, into the rocks, into the depths. And then very gently take that release tool out, roll onto your back for banana. Now we let your feet and your arms go to the right. So hands, pull your left arm over to the right, maybe even your elbow. Wiggle your feet to the right. Flex your toes. Get that left side opening up. Now that your body's a little bit more flat against the ground, visualize what's below your back and your glutes, the depths of the earth. Visualize yourself in this really cool rocket thing. Your favorite kind of rocket ship, solo for you, that has a drill on the front. And you mentally decide to get inside of this little rocket drill and start digging beneath of you into the center of the earth. So we dig through the earth's crust. And then if you remember from grade school, the mantle, that's another section of the earth about 1,800 feet long and deep. And then we get to the very center of the earth, which is called the core. So in your rocket drill, we've made it all the way to the center of the earth, and you see this fiery, lava-like substance called the core. Bring your knees to your chest, rock them side to side. You can stay here decompressing your spine, or if you like plow pose, it's the second and final set. Legs up and over your head. Stretch your neck. Whatever you've chosen to settle into, come back to that visualization of the fiery, lava-like Earth's core. And as if you were just letting anything that doesn't serve you or give you confidence and strength drip out of your body, through your neck, through your back, down into the center of Earth's core. As if the lava-like substance was just burning up the shit that we don't need. See yourself energetically throwing it or dripping it down into the center of the earth. How slowly can you rock up to a seat? And we'll start again on that shoulder stretch. Take your left hand behind your back, pull it in a half bind. Right palm to your left ear, tug sideways. The meditation becomes noticing the subtleties. If I open and close my mouth, if I turn my jaw left, right, if I drop my head or pull it back ever so slightly. Tabletop pose, reset the spine. Lift your left arm, inhale. Thread the needle, left cheek down to the mat. If you chose the half bind play, right hand behind your back. Take the variation again that gets the most shoulder stretch away from your cheek. So in one of the last things that you'll do in this meditation shoulder stretch, visualize once again Earth's core. And now, for the finality, what else can you pour down from your hips, down from your heart, down from your neck, your head, into the center of the earth to burn up? Give it back to the ground, give it back to the earth that supports you beneath you so we don't have to carry it with you the rest of the day. today, instead of ending our session with your palms at your heart, I want you to try to either put your fists together behind your back or reverse namaskar, fingers direct up towards the head. It's prayer hands, but with your fingers towards the sky with your palms facing in. Just sit here with your shoulders more open and your chest protruding out, tall in your spine, stretching your quads and the top of your ankles. Making a silent promise to yourself as you imagine getting back in that rocket drill. Let's go back away from Earth's core, back through the mantle, that caramel-like substance, back up through the crust of the Earth, and then get out of your sweet drill rocket and come back into your body. This flesh suit that we get to travel in. A little mindful moment saying thank you to the body, thanking yourself for leaving behind the stuff that wouldn't serve us. Absorb the affirmations or repeat them out loud. It feels good. Repeat after me. Hey today, I'm ready for the best day of my life. It's a choice I make with an open heart, less weight on my shoulders, to be the best that I possibly can. All right, everyone, undo your palms, bring them to your heart, rub them together, breathe in. Namaste, Namaste, bow forward. Remember, these restore relaxes are meant to be done as many times as you possibly want. You cannot overdo these. Stretch your shoulders, taking the tension out of your typing hands, your neck, your back, whatever. Do them as many times as you want. Double them up, but a daily practice of 15 minutes of this. It seems like you don't have the time, but I promise you it will make leaps and